Guys. So let's talk about this weekend. You've probably heard a lot about how Pluto and the Sun will both be ingressing Aquarius on Saturday. So here we are. This is the chart actually when we have that Pluto conjunct the Sun. And I mean, we're at the anaretic degree of all anaretic degrees that you could get to. Like, probably even more, like, it'll probably be even the most, it'll be even more anaretic when we get to that 29 degrees and 59 seconds of Pisces. So if we have that ingress from Pisces into Aquarius, with the Sun conjunct Pluto. I actually need to look at that. I'm going to look that chart up. I'll let you guys know what the ingress from Pluto to from Pisces Pluto to Pisces or to Aries Pluto. That'll be an interesting one. I haven't looked at that ingress yet, but so Saturday we'll have the Sun and Pluto at this 29 degrees and 59 seconds. Now, this is going to be a very intense energy, like really, really intense, because of the Sun conjoining Pluto. Power plays, lots of power plays, lots of arguments could happen. People could be manipulative to be able to get their way. Kind of just pay attention to how, other people are sort of interacting and stuff. I don't know what's going to happen in the world, partially because I know what's going on in the world, but I don't watch it every single day. Like, I don't watch the news every day. I don't see what's going on every day. But I do think that something is going to happen, and I do think that it has to do with politics, okay? Partially because this is Capricorn at 29 degrees. And I'm going to read the Sabian symbol for you guys for this particular conjunction. It would be considered 30 degrees Capricorn. So let me read this to you. And keep in mind, Pluto's going to regress again later this year back into Capricorn one more time, just at this 29th degree. And Pluto will be at 29 degrees Capricorn during the elections in November. And when Pluto was at 29 degrees Sagittarius, Barack Obama was elected in 2008. When Pluto was at, and so now Pluto will be at 29 degrees. I had to think about that for a second. Yeah, 2008. I was like, wait a second, what year? Yeah, that was it. Sometimes I just don't remember things. I have to I got to put my foot up. And so this election, we're going to have this one at 29 degrees as well. And so I want to tell you guys that, to keep that in mind about the elections and the politics while I read this 29 degree, this 30 degree Capricorn Sabian symbol. Thanks for being patient with me as I put my foot up. It just started to throb. So I was like, okay, it's time. Okay, so the Sabian symbol, Capricorn 30, a secret business conference. Opportunity is the key word. The theme is an executive session. The symbol speaks to politics and to the determination of individuals to control the course of events and resolve important issues through political alliances. The image of a secret business conference or a behind-the-scenes meeting alludes to a power play or an attempt to determine the outcome of some situation by quietly and cleverly manipulating the personal resources at hand. The emphasis here is on psychological insight, a keen understanding of human behavior, and tactical maneuvering. Positive. At its highest, this symbol represents strategic planning and extraordinary administrative skills. The negative, abuse of power, hidden agendas, or taking unfair advantage of others. Today, I think this accent is going to be on the things that are going on behind the scenes. If nothing happens outwardly, if nothing happens in the world You know, I feel like there are some power plays and some maneuvers and some things that are happening behind the scenes that we may not necessarily be aware of. And there may be some distractions that come out to keep us from seeing what's going on behind the scenes when it comes to this year's election. So, you know, I'm not going to predict anything in particular, but that's definitely something that we all need to be paying attention to. There's been a lot of talk about mail, you know, the mail of ballots and the fraud behind it and the voting fraud and the just all of the things, right? And you know, I think every election year it gets even worse. Like there's the accusations get worse and worse. The opportunity here is to keep planning. Your greatest advantage lies in keeping your plans to yourself until you're ready to put them into action. Line up support before you begin. The risk here is guarding against placing your personal desires above the best interests of the group. Don't try to manipulate others to achieve your own ends. So this is a really manipulative, this is just, you know, people are going to be creating situations for themselves to, you know, in order to be able to, you know, to rise, to continue to rise, you know, in power in so many ways. So we have that. The moon will also be trine almost freaking exact at that exact moment. We have this exact going on. So it's going to be an emotional one. It's going to be early in the morning. It could really set the tone for your day. It's going to be early in the morning in the States, but it still could set the tone of the day really for everyone. There's just sort of this intensity, you know, there's just this bigness and this intensity happening with this. And so then the moon will ingress Gemini. We'll see the sun ingress Aquarius. The sun will be in Aquarius until February 18th. And so happy birthday to all of my lovely Aquarius friends. I have so many Aquarius friends. I love my Aquarius. Whether you're an Aquarius moon, an Aquarius rising, an Aquarius sun, or all three of them at once. I mean, like Aquarius energy and we go together just like this. Might be because my dominant planets are Saturn and Uranus, and that's what an Aquarius is, and that's why we get along so well. The funny thing is I have 0 planets in Aquarius. My 5th house is Aquarius, so I have a lot of fun with them, but I have 0 planets. Like, but I'm dominate, you know, but anyways, I still have the energy of them. It's pretty hilarious. I love astrology that way. We still have this really cool trine going on with Mercury and Jupiter. So things like you know, it's funny is I really thought Thursday I was going to be able to get a whole lot of stuff done because of that trine. And I got some stuff done, but not a lot of stuff done. I was actually able to get more stuff done the next day with today with the Venus square Neptune going on, but still, which is still sort of there, right? Venus is still just a degree square. There's another thing I wanted to bring to everybody's attention is we do have, you know, the Jupiter sextile Saturn is already happening. And this is really going to be a thing like all year long. It's going to be coming in and out of that sextile as they both retrograde throughout the year. And so really paying attention to, you know, not being overindulgent, not being overabundant, not being overabundant. That's not what I meant. Don't be overindulgent, right? Like you really want to, this is a time for you to, you know, look at your finances and not like overexpend yourself with them. But also the finances that you're using and the resources that you're using and the energy that you're using, this is a time for you to use that in order to help you to expand and do it in, you know, in a gradual kind of way without like jumping into things too quickly. So this Saturday energy is very interesting. We will have the moon in Gemini square Saturn in Pisces. Later on in the afternoon, it'll be like early evening for the East Coast. And after that, you guys, we have this besieged moon. We've talked about the besieged moon before, where there's you know, and especially a negative or a tough, a challenging aspect to a malefic planet. And then that moon is just kind of cranky after that. And we have to sort of deal with the crankiness of the moon for the rest of the evening. You know, I don't know exactly what the energy of tomorrow is going to bring, of what the 20th Saturday is going to bring. But what I do know is that it's going to be big, and it is starting our year off with a pretty significant shift, only because of that Sun conjunction into Aquarius as well. February is really when we start off the Pluto synodic cycle and get this 20-year Pluto era really like kicked off and going. Like the February party is all about it. To be quite honest, it's going to be interesting. This is, you know, a year of preparatory change in a lot of ways. Remember, you know, to watch that Astrology 2024 reading. If you haven't watched that video, I talk all about how things are changing in 2025 as well, and what that's going to kind of like sort of a sneak peek at the end, you know, to be able to watch that. But so, yeah, so we have this besieged moon, and will be besieged throughout the evening, all the way throughout in the middle of the night, besieged moon, besieged moon, besieged moon, into the afternoon of the 21st. Here we are, January 21st, Sunday. Until midday, and the moon will then sextile Chiron. So this weekend could, here we go. So the moon is now sextile Chiron. We're like midday. It's probably about 1:40 p.m. Eastern time. When the moon will come out of that besieged and then sextile Chiron. And so like maybe by this time when the moon does sextile Chiron, you can start talking about what happens, because whatever it is that kicks up the dust with this, if there are some karmic lessons that you need to learn, and this is kicking up that dust of those things that you're really supposed to be paying attention to and learning about yourself, whatever it is, right? We all have to improve on ourselves. We all have to improve on ourselves. And we can't just talk about improving on ourselves. We have to actually put it into action, right? And these are the kind of weekends that are going to show you your flaws, and that are going to show you the cracks in your own foundation. Now, Pluto transits are very slow. We don't typically even really feel them that much. The only reason why we're feeling this ingress as heavily as we are is because of that Sun conjunction at the anaretic degree, 29 degrees, right? It's a big, intense energy that's happening. Like, it's no small thing. But this whole Pluto, it's not going to be this intense for the entire 20 years. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be more intense if it connects with any of your planets. It's going to be probably a lot intense for fixed signs, especially fixed rising signs. By fixed, I mean Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, and Scorpio. Those are my fixed friends. And so you guys are going to have, you know, a lot of that square going on, or the opposition with Leo, and that's the squares with Scorpio and Taurus going on to with your own personal planets, or with your rising sign. So even, you know, sun sign, you know, if you have heavily fixed planets, you know, you're going to feel Pluto for the next 20 years a little bit heavier than most people. I'm a Libra rising, and I had that Capricorn Pluto in my 4th house since 2008. And I felt it. I don't have any planets in my 4th house, but I felt that Pluto there. And a lot of it is because I'm a Libra rising, and I have Libra Pluto, right? And so I had that square happening for a while. The Pluto square, you know, Capricorn Pluto was square my Libra Pluto for a while. So, you know, the Pluto transit necessarily isn't going to be something that we're going to feel every single day heavily like we would a personal, you know. But you may find with Sunday evening, this moon sextile Chiron, and then we have the moon trine the South Node. And the South Node is about our past, right? And the South Node is in Libra right now, relationships. So you may find that you sort of want to find some harmony And, you know, with the moon sextile Chiron, you want to kind of rectify the emotions. You want to heal the traumas. You want to work through those emotional triggers that are happening, and you want to do it through communication, right? We're in Gemini. It's a moon in Gemini. So, you know, there's a possibility where you could find yourself transmuting energy through this entire weekend, and you're going to like see that how like your relationships transmute, and how just like all of the, you know, the things transmuting throughout the weekend with this intense energy and this really kind of cray moon that's happening. So yeah, so then we have Monday morning that we'll talk about in another video. So let's take a look at the kind of oracle energy that we have for Saturday and Sunday. Saturday the 21st. Saturday the 20th and Sunday the 21st. We're using the Sacred Traveler Oracle cards. I always forget to show you. Mystic Healer. Oh, I love this. Healing energy flows through you. I love this. Great card for this weekend. It may be pretty intense. I honestly like told myself that I was going to be, you know, like very meditative this weekend, and, you know, really allow myself to be centered and grounded. And, you know, because it's happening in like both Henry and I, my partner and I, we're both Libra rising. So we both have Capricorn in the 4th house. And so it's happening in our 4th house of home, right? And so, you know, whatever needs to come up will come up. But, you know, I don't want it to be because I am not controlling my own emotional responses. You know what I mean? So I'm fully aware of where I'm going to have to like pay attention to my own intense energy. And I feel like that's what the healing energy flows through you means. It's really about, because Pluto is transformation. It's that transmuting of energy. It's going from the darkness into the light, but you have to go through the darkness first when it comes to Pluto. And really you have to go through the darkness first when it comes to life. In a lot of ways, you have to learn those lessons. And sometimes it's learning them the hard way, or learning them, you know, regardless of what they are. So I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and take good care of yourself and take good care of each other, and really allow yourselves to be extra self-aware this weekend. All right. I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.